I'm with the VBAC Police unit. You called?
Yes, officer. Thanks for coming. We have quite the dangerous situation unfolding here. This supposedly informed woman is insisting that I allow her to birth her baby vaginally. I know, it's ridiculous.
I'm glad you called.
I understand that your unit was created specifically to handle this type of situation. This dangerous scenario is becoming more and more common as women try to assert themselves. Silly creatures. As if they have a clue about any of this.
So first things first. Can you give me a bit of background?
Of course. She had her first C-section 3 years ago. For reasons that I cannot understand, she was not grateful that I saved her from all the damage of the vaginal birth that she was planning.
My vast experience with this type of situation leads me to believe that she had one of those doulas involved in all of this. They're usually at the root of this type of situation.
You are quite right, officer. Why, yes, she did. She hired one of those amazing birth doulas. They are some of the most annoying of their kind.
I have heard of these amazing birth doulas.
They really must be stopped. If they are successful, vaginal births and VBACs will be happening everywhere. Can you imagine this? Home, hospitals and birth centers. The horror. Officer, aren't you worried about your job if this happens? What about my golf games? This is a disaster in the making.
So anyway, back to your patient. Is her partner here with her?
Yes, officer. When I realized what she was attempting, I pulled the dead baby card from the deck and rushed her back to the operating room and called you.
Fast thinking. What if the baby had managed to slip out?
Exactly. She arrived at the hospital in active labor. I suspect that the doula was keeping her home to labor for a while. They are quite sneaky like that.
Damn doula.
Exactly.
So, where is the husband now?
I have him and the doula waiting outside. He keeps saying something about informed consent. I've had enough lawsuits, I don't need this.
It's probably the doula again. My experience tells me that next she will be citing the patient's Bill of Rights.
I agree. I mean, just because I told my patient that I would allow her a trial of labor because she wanted a VBAC doesn't mean that I would actually do a VBAC. Can't she read between the lines?
Imagine that, some people that blindly trust.
When I brought her to the back she wouldn't be quiet, so I had the anesthesiologist administer general anesthesia. What a relief that was.
You have quite the sense of humor.
Anyway, now that you understand the dangers of what she is trying to do, and the interference that her partner and doula are running, could you please issue them a citation for interference with medical care?
Well, actually, doctor, I spoke with them on the way in.
And?
That doula presented a good argument.
What are you talking about?
There are medical studies that support VBAC. I had no idea.
I have heard of these. But seriously, you are not buying this, are you?
Actually, they are very compelling. Are you aware that attempting a vaginal birth after a C-section is a safe and appropriate choice for most women who have had a prior surgical delivery? Even including some women who have had 2 previous C-sections. All of this is according to guidelines of the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists.
I'm vaguely aware. But do you have any idea how inconvenient type of birth is for a doctor like me?
Actually, the doula mentioned that. She called it the old bait and stitch routine. She said that doctors that don't want to do VBACs for whatever reason shouldn't lead women to believe that they are a VBAC-friendly provider. That there are plenty of VBAC-friendly providers in the community who actually practice evidence-based care.
Really? Well, does this doula have any idea how actually telling patients that I don't do VBACs would affect my annual revenue?
You are very funny, doctor. I don't think she cares.
So let me get this straight. You are not going to cite this woman's husband and doula for interference?
Have you not been listening? Because I have been. The doula told me about a VBAC summit being held in February 2011. There will be speakers from all around the country, including doctors and midwives who support this evidence-based choice.
I'm horrified. Dear God, what if the word gets out?
Oh, it will. These women are serious about this. In fact, my wife, had what I now realize was an unnecessary C-section with our son, and I'm telling her to visit their website www.vbacsummit.org. Until now, I did not understand why this was so important to her.
I have no words.
Oh look, doctor.
What?
The baby is crowning. The miracle of birth is unfolding.
Disaster. Now see what you've allowed to happen.
Imagine that. The natural expulsive reflex is intact even when a woman is unconscious. Women are amazing.